celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio. Here are your hosts, Al Abrams and Judy Francis.
Oh, it's another one of those days where it is so pretty outside. I feel like the people who've built this studio are mocking us by putting windows in, making us work on a Saturday. I hope you're out enjoying yourself with your pet and the radio cranked loud for another edition of Animal Radio. Toll free, 1-866-405-8405.
When are we going to build a, studio where we can open up the roof, get the sunlight in?
That's a good idea.
You're in charge of that, Joey.
Well, can you get some sponsors on this, Hal?
Well, you know what? I know that if anything can happen, you can make it happen. I can't, nobody listens to me around here, and everybody sort of laughs at me when I say anything around here. But I bet if you walked around and said, I want a hole in the roof, there'd be a hole in the roof.
Just give me the sledgehammer. I'll do it.
Also here today, dog father Joey Villani with your grooming tips and your household remodeling tips if you happen to be taking out the roof. Also, Joey Turner, animal communicator extraordinaire, and Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard. There's another recall this week of Imes food, I believe dry cat food, that's being recalled, and only 60 bags of it, I understand, are being recalled. More details coming up. And this weekend, we welcome to the Animal Radio Dream Team, Lori Roberts. Woo-hoo! Is joining us as our new news director.
Hello, Lori.
Yeah.
Down, boy.
She has the scoop coming up in just a few minutes about Swiffer and Febreze. Now, there's rumor so huge via email all over the internet that the SPCA Poison Control Center had to check it out. Is Swiffer and Febreze not good for your pets? We'll have the
Please
answers.
don't tell me that.
Yeah.
Details. I use my Swiffer all the time.
You'll just have to wait to find out, Joey, just like the rest of us here. Also, a Dodge Journey pet destination coming up today. Yes, I'm bribing you for your Dodge pet destinations because I understand that once you give them out that they'll be crowded with other people that want to enjoy it too. And this week, I'm actually going to bribe you with a night stay at the Alden Brook. It's at Portland, Oregon, a beautiful pet-friendly hotel, as well as some gifts for your dog or cat or iguana or duck or monkey or skunk or whatever animals you have. So, for sharing your pet-friendly destinations, call us at 1-866-405-8405. We'll do that in a few minutes also.
I'm going to sneak out of the studio and use my cell phone and call in. I'll just change my voice.
Who's
that? That's pretty good. That was like, you do imitations, don't you?
I can do, yeah. I'm just, I just shock myself,
And all of us, too. And today you're actually talking about anal glands.
Anal glands.
And this is
glands.
I enjoy anal glands. And that sounds weird, but I enjoy it.
For those of you that don't know.
It's a crappy job, but some of us have to do it.
I have one of those shy dogs.
Yes.
And they always tell you, to get it socialized around people and other animals, for people is hand your dog to someone and have them hold it.
Oh, yeah.
And Ladybug, she's about 6-7 pounds. So my neighbor was out walking, and I asked her if she would hold my dog because she has a little Chihuahua, and she said, sure. So I put Ladybug in her arms, and Ladybug did some squirming, and by the time I realized it, she had released her anal glands on my neighbor.
Oh,
I haven't seen my neighbor since.
I bet.
But the good thing about it is at least she released them.
Yeah.
That's more important.
Thanks for doing that. You didn't have to take it to the vet or the groomer to do that. It could have been an extra.
That's right.
How much do you charge for that anyway? That's got to be a pretty expensive.
That should be, no. That, you know what? I look at it like this. That should be part of the grooming because technically it's something that really needs to be done. And it bothers me that a lot of groomers want to charge because you have some people that are on fixed incomes, and sometimes you have to do it for the well-being of the pet. But I'll get into that more when we
talk about it. Okay.
You're giving it away now.
I'm sorry. It's just a tease there, ladies and gentlemen. Pretend we didn't even talk about that there. Forget everything we've said so far. Hi, I'm Hal. 1-866-405-8405. Call us now.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
This portion of Animal Radio brought to you by
Herb Springer's Quick Release Dog Training Collar. Very humane, very gentle. Find a store near you at animalradio.com.
celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio. Here are your hosts, Al Abrams and Judy Francis.
Hey, that guy always sounds so damn cheery. Doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He's always in a good
Cheerio.
Hey, we're all here toll free. 1-866-405-8405 to help you with your dog issues, cat issues, iguana issues, fish issues, bird, horse, any kind of animals. And Vlade, he'll even help you, like, with your personal relationship.
I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah, he'll help you. I wouldn't recommend it. But
Is that before or after the vodka?
During.
I've never seen the guy without the vodka, so I don't know. But he's actually waving at me from the green room right now.
It's tea, Hal. It's tea.
Tea, is that what he's saying?
Yes.
You read lips very well. Dr. Debbie is here to answer your vet medical questions. She's in a bit of a sour mood today. I'll tell you that right now, because somebody came to her today and they said that they looked up information on the internet.
So they diagnosed their pet.
They diagnosed their pet
wrong?
before, and she got a little upset about that.
Uh-huh.
Also, on the way, animal communicator Joy Turner seems to be ringing the phones today. White hot. And, I'm kind of a skeptic. I don't necessarily get into that animal communication thing, and I don't necessarily believe in reincarnation or that my animals can come back or anything like that. But,
I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I definitely do.
Well, it's people like you that are making the
pets,
phones.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Well, you see, you have your choice here. That's what I like about Animal Radio. You can ask the doctor, or you can ask the animal communicator, or the groomer, or the dog trainer. Let's hit the phones. With Dr. Debbie right now, we have, is it Paul? Hey, Paul, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
Where are you today?
Going through Maryland right now.
Okay. I have Dr. Debbie here. She can help you.
I got a stupid question for you.
A stupid question?
I've got 7 dogs and 2 cats. 3 of the dogs, they eat the cat poop from time to time.
Okay.
I switched out their litter to that Breeze cat litter system, and one of them got really sick. We figured it was because of old age. Another one got sick. He's a dachshund. Figured it was his back. And the last one, we just about lost him, just about killed him. So we went back to the cat litter.
Mm-hmm.
What can we do to keep the dogs from eating the poop?
Okay. So your dogs are eating the cat's poop in the litter box. And are you making the assumption that was leading to their sickness?
Well, I think it was the Breeze cat litter system, the little white pellet thing. I think that is what got them sick. So we went back to the original cat litter that we had before, and they're still eating it, and they haven't gotten sick yet. But it's the fact that they're still eating a poo that's kind of gross.
Sure. In the litter system you're talking about is the Breeze one. I believe it's made by Purina, I want to say. And it's supposedly a non-toxic kind of pellet where the waste, the liquid waste kind of falls through. And we say it's non-toxic, but just like any other non-toxic things, crayons are non-toxic. But if a child were to eat a box of them, it would make them sick. And there's always the potential with something like the pelleted systems that if a dog is ingesting them and they eat enough of them, it could give them a bellyache. Now, I'm not sure about the bigger illnesses you're describing in there, but certainly, I'd have to say any dog that's eaten poop, and in your situation, where we have dogs eating cat litter poop, I kind of technically call that the almond roca munchers because of the typical look to that. So the challenge is when we have dogs eating cat poop, we have to remember that it's very hard to stop that behavior if they have physical access. So the number one thing we do is we work on physical barriers to prevent that. It is a rewarding behavior. There's something delectable about cat poop, and dogs will love it, they will remember it, and they will seek it out. And the stinkier, the better. So your real challenge is going to be physical barriers. And I think that's kind of the honest truth here is there's no magic thing to feed to your cats to make the dogs not eat their poop. There's a will, there's a way, and they will get to it. So one of the best techniques that I've found for people who have multiple dogs and multiple cats is to actually get a kind of semi-large pet carrier where you can have a door access small enough for the cat. And hopefully small enough that the dogs can't get through there. And that's one way to keep that kind of behind a physical barrier so that the doggies can't get in there. And there's other ways you can do this, elevating cat litter pans up on elevations so that the dogs can't get in there as readily, or even just not see it, because seeing it is just a temptation that they just can't pass up. But there are also some citronella collars that you can use in a system to try to keep the dogs away from the barrier where the litter pan is. And, that's a challenge. So if you've got that many critters, I'm assuming you've got a large area of land or home where they're all running around, huh? We've got about a yard, about a half an acre. And we put the dogs on the visible fence system, and they seem to love that. But yeah, they go out and they run and play and everything else. But it's just the cat food that just kind of hurts me. Yeah, and it's hard because they come up to you and they want to give you that kiss, and you can just see that little clump of litter hanging off their lip, and it's hard to love that. But really, so in all sincerity here, Paul, it really is going to come down to the physical ways to keep your dogs away from that litter. I've also used privacy screens, so taking cardboard and cutting interesting shapes so that it hides the visual appearance of the litter box and kind of lets the dogs kind of forget about it a little bit. So all of these different things are what you're going to have on your hands to tackle that problem.
Good luck with that, Paul. 1-866-405-8405. If you need a follow-up, please feel free to give us a call back. We want to solve that problem or help you solve that problem. The whole gang, Dr. Debbie here to answer your vet medical questions. Dog father Joey Villani, animal communicator Joey Turner, Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard. We're all here at your beck and call. Toll free, 1-866-405-8405. And we welcome to the Dream Team Lori Roberts, our new news director here at Animal Radio. She's working on a story about the VPI Pet Insurance Hambone Award for the oddest insurance claim.
Oh, those are funny.
Yeah, well,
afterwards, once the pet's okay.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
And labs, they get into just about anything. Ate an entire beehive. The owner didn't notice until she began vomiting hundreds of bees. That story coming up in just a few minutes with Lori Roberts.
Yeah.
Okay, you may think I'm crazy, but I'm going to do it again. I'm going to give everyone within the sound of my voice a bag of By Nature cat food or By Nature dog food.
Whoa. You ready for the phones?
Well, you don't even need to call in. I mean, if you want to, I'll tell you what. Call her right now, 1-866-405-8405. We'll get your information and send you a bag. But if you don't get through, head on over to the website at animalradio.com and click the By Nature logo. There's a By Nature banner at the top. There's a By Nature logo on the bottom of the page. Hit either one of those. That'll take you to a page to get a free By Nature cat food or dog food bag. Now, they're 7-pound bags for the cat and a 17-pound bag for the dogs. I mean, these aren't like little samples or anything.
No, they're not sample bags. These are full-size products.
They have the grain-free chicken and potato formula, the 7 seafood platter, the weight control formula, chicken, salmon, and duck formula. And then for the dogs, you have the pork and sweet potato, which Ladybug just loves, by the way. Also, the ocean fish and yogurt and the duck and sweet pea. A nice novelty diet. I want you to check it out. By Nature. Keeping your pet feeling young with a powerful mix of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants to promote a strong immune system. Try it right now. The first bag is on us. Head on over to animalradio.com and click the By Nature logo.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
As your best friend settles into middle age and shows signs of slowing down, SeniorPetProducts.com is there to help your senior pets live to the fullest by providing the latest news, information, and products for health, wellness, comfort, and mobility. At SeniorPetProducts.com, you'll find everything your aging pets need, from vitamins and supplements to diapers, boots, and accessories that'll make their senior years more comfortable, all at the lowest prices available. Thousands of products for the life of your pet. SeniorPetProducts.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, we at Litter Robot are pleased to announce our new spokescat, Cousin Vinny the Cat.
Thanks. It's good to be here with you guys talking about this here litter robot that automatically cleans up after us cats do our business.
And what would you like to say to our audience about the Litter Robot?
My owner seems to be saving up lots of cash now that he's not buying so much cat litter. Plus, I don't have to put up with that stinking litter box smell no more. With Litter Robot, I get clean litter every time.
Right, Vinny. The Litter Robot saves on litter and eliminates odors.
And seriously, the chicks dig it.
Okay. Vinny, where can our audience buy a Litter Robot?
Well, you gotta go online to the Litter Robot website and order one. Them Litter Robot guys don't even charge you for shipping.
That's great. People can just order a Litter Robot online at www.litter-robot.com. Animal Radio listeners can now save $20. Just enter Animal Radio as the coupon code when checking out. Thank you, Vinny. We look forward to hearing from you again soon.
Yeah, anytime, pal.
We get lots of food samples here at Animal Radio, so we can be picky about selecting a healthy food. If you're a regular listener, you know Ladybug is one finicky diva. When we got a sample of Stella and Chewy's, the healthy ingredients were there, but would she eat it? I'm here to tell you she ate it as fast as we put it down and begged for more. We feel good about feeding our dog Stella and Chewy's, and we want you to try Stella and Chewy's too. Visit StellaandChewy's.com or call 888-477-8977. That's 888-477-8977. This is
Animal Radio, baby.
Another small recall this week of Lyme's food. More details on the way in just a few minutes. I welcome Paula Munier to our airwaves. She has a brand new book called Fixing Freddie. I just love that title, Fixing Freddie. Hi, Paula. How are you?
Oh, great. Thanks. How are you?
Very good. So who's Freddie?
Freddie is our beagle.
And
who was the puppy from hell.
Puppy from hell. Now, I can relate to that totally, I believe. You're a single mom, is that correct?
Yes.
And you had a broken family there, obviously. Dad had left, and you have children, is that correct?
Yes, I had 3 kids, and one was left at home. It was just the kid and me, and he was not a happy camper.
No.
And, I didn't think I'd ever have the money to scrape together for a house, but I did. And he reminded me the day we moved in that I had promised that if we ever had a house of our own, he could have a puppy.
Oh,
no.
And that's a promise you didn't think you would ever have to pay up on, right?
Exactly right.
And he held you to it, didn't he?
Yes, he did. We were on the road in minutes.
So how did you pick out this beagle from hell?
Well, we ended up at one of these puppy places out in western Massachusetts, and it was one of those sort of Paris Hilton places where all the puppies were frou-frou little dogs that would fit in your purse. And none of them were very good for a 12-year-old boy. And finally, we came across this 6-month-old half-price beagle.
That
half price,
you right there.
Yes.
Exactly. There was my dishwasher right there. So I said, oh, this is great. Isn't he cute? And he was cute as he could be. But he was also quite a handful by the time we got him home.
What would he do? Pee on things? And
he pooped in my shoes. He peed on my dates. He lunged at the UPS man. He was impossible. He ate all the doorknobs off my custom cherry cabinet.
Oh, no.
He was bad in every possible way.
I want to go back to the peeing on the dates.
Yeah.
What would happen there?
Well, he didn't like men. He decided he didn't like men. What happened was he morphed into this adolescent beagle. At the same time, my son was morphing into an adolescent boy.
Oh, that must have been tough.
Yes, I was surrounded by misbehaved male adolescents.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
And so when a date would come over?
He would lunge at them. He would, bite them. He would growl at them. He just didn't like any male in the house.
So you didn't have a lot of second dates, I imagine.
No second dates. No love life there for a long time. So I ended up taking him to a animal behaviorist, which, is, of course, a puppy shrink, who diagnosed him with separation anxiety and fear-based aggression, and said that single moms, this often happens in homes with single moms because the dog becomes the alpha male.
Oh.
Okay, I get it.
So what'd you do?
Well, I had to become an alpha male myself in order to tame both the adolescent boy and the adolescent beagle.
It's not a pretty thing, is it?
No, it's not.
No.
It's a tough job. It's the whole pack leader thing.
Were you able to change things, or was Freddie just bad forever?
Well, he was bad for as long as I think most adolescents are bad, I think of adolescence as a 5-year virus that sort of comes and goes, you know. And of course, I had a lot of training. We took him to obedience classes. He was asked to leave. He didn't play nicely with others. But eventually we got him private training, and that did the trick.
So now he's well behaved.
Oh, well, I wouldn't go that far. He's a far better dog. We had a graduation party for my son who recently graduated from high school, and he was very good. It was the first party he'd been allowed to attend in years, and he was lovely to all the guests. He charmed everyone, and then he ate the cake.
Oh.
He wasn't supposed to?
No, he wasn't supposed to eat the cake.
Oh.
He very carefully licked half the icing off before we caught him.
Is Freddie still around?
Oh, yes. He's howling as we speak.
Oh. So has your son moved away?
He's off at college. We took him last week, so Freddie and I have been forlorn.
Oh, so what's going to happen here from here on?
I'm stuck with him.
You're stuck with him.
How old is Freddie now?
He's 6. He could live forever. But, you know, we're pals now, so.
You've chronicled all of this wonderful story in a book called Fixing Freddie, a true story about a boy, a mom, and a very, very bad beagle. And I'm going to encourage listeners to go pick it up. In fact, I'm going to give away 10 copies right now at 1-866-405-8405. Now, if you don't get through today, I want you to ask your bookstore for it. If they don't have it, they can easily order it, or you can head online to Amazon, Borders, or Barnes & Noble and pick up Fixing Freddie by Paula Munier. Is that French?
Yes, it is.
I love the French language.
Yeah.
Paula, thank you so much for joining us today. Good luck. Go give Freddie a big old hug from all of us.
I will. Thanks so much.
It's official, the worst flea season in a decade, which is leading to increased cases of Lyme disease and, of course, fattening the bottom lines of all the companies that make the flea medications. All the details coming up in the news in just a few minutes with Lori Roberts. Let's head back to the phones with Dr. Debbie, and we have Joanne on the phone. Hey, Joanne.
Hi, Joanne. Oh, hi. How are you?
I should say hi, Dr. Debbie.
Hi, Dr. Debbie.
What can we do for you today?
Well, I heard your show a couple of weeks ago, and unfortunately I forgot where it was on the radio. So I can't, and it was the best show I heard. And I can't find it now. So when this is over, let me know where you are again.
Let's deal with the animal medical issues.
My 5-year-old female Boston Terrier. She, she and I separated from my husband 3 years ago. And we left the house, her only knowings, and I moved into an apartment that was not the greatest. And she had an awful lot of fears of other animals. She stayed only in her backyard, you know, at the house, and had her family. And she didn't have her family. She kept having to go for walks, you know, to go potty. She kept running into other dogs and people who didn't like her. And there was a lot of gunfire in the area. I only lasted 2 months there. But that started this fidgetiness and this fear of just about everything. I finally got out of there and moved to where I am now. I've been here since February, and it has stayed and yet gotten worse. She sometimes begins, usually in the evenings, trembling so bad that I can't even hold her still, and her eyes are as big as biscuits. I'd swear she was hallucinating over something. And I can't calm her no matter what. I do use Benadryl occasionally, and maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. It really depends on her, I guess. She will not leave the room that I'm in. She follows me everywhere. She's now started this kissing thing where she will kiss my hands and my arms, my feet, my legs, which I don't let her do for long because I just don't care for it. She can kiss my face all she wants, you know, and I kiss her. But she will do this continually and not stop unless I stop her. And she used to let me go out front and visit friends, and now she's right there at the door, either crying like crazy because I'm gone or barking. And she will not take a nap, take a rest, nothing.
Okay. And does she get along with other dogs?
Not the greatest. She's not aggressive, but she will take herself away from them. She will go into another room. I have a friend who has an animal that she brings over occasionally, and only because he is so marvelous will I allow it. Chloe will give up any toy once he comes near. She becomes totally submissive and will go into another room.
Well, I mean, it sounds like this poor little darling has been through a lot, and a lot of her environmental exposure has kind of gradually led to some of her responses, and it can be very challenging to undo some of the fear responses because it's so much harder to overcome fear with a positive experience. So you really have to kind of repeat and flood the pet with positive experiences, teaching them confidence and not rewarding the anxious and the nervous behavior. Now, am I correct? Are you around her most of the time, or are you away parts of the day or at work or what have you?
I'm always here. Unless I go to the store or a doctor's appointment, I'm disabled and I'm here.
Okay.
Always with her.
And in the average situation, for most dogs, that arrangement's fine. Your presence with her, for as much as you are, it doesn't allow her a lot of time to develop independent or confident behaviors on her own. So when you're not there, it's natural for her to be fearful because you're kind of her reassurance. So the work that we would have to do is really to teach her to be independent, to be strong, and to not act fearfully to these different triggers. First, this is going to take a lot of work probably with a trainer, so that we can work to find out individual sounds or sights or things that are triggering these responses. Say it's a doorbell. Say it's the thunderclap. Say it's a person coming by the window and walking by. All of those things that make her fearful, we're going to have to try to control that while we're working with her and desensitizing those fear responses. So it will be some effort, and we can probably tap upon the old Vladdy's shoulder and see how he might help things. For a pet that's this fearful, though, I will often put my hand into the little well of pharmaceuticals, and I feel that can be very helpful. And Benadryl doesn't hurt in this situation, but it's really not appropriate for an anxiety. Yeah. So it would certainly be warranted to see your veterinarian, make sure we're in good health. There's nothing else weird going on that could be attributing any kind of behavior issues.
Right.
But I would certainly see about working with a trainer and getting her possibly on a behavior medication to kind of help work with some of these fearful responses that she's having. And then with positive experiences, we can undo that effect. But it will take a while, and it's something that I don't encourage people to do on their own.
Okay.
It looks like you have a little work to do ahead of you there. Please let us know if we can help you again, Joanne, on that.
I will.
Thank you.
I will. God bless you all.
Where are you listening today?
I can't find you on the radio.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you're AM or FM. I can't remember. I was fiddling one day.
I think you're listening to Kino. AM, yes.
God bless you. I can listen more now.
Good. Thanks so much, Joanne. 1-866-405-8405. If you have a fur ball in your life, a feline fur ball, listen up. I would like to give you a free bag of world's best cat litter.
That's good stuff.
Free, too. We've been using it for...
Ever,
like she says. In fact, long before they ever were a sponsor of Animal Radio. Because we love it because it's clumping, it's natural, it's whole kernel corn.
It really controls the odor.
Yeah, you can't even tell we have cats. It's good
except
stuff.
for the hair all over it. They can only do something for that. But they're a litter. Give them a break.
World's best cat litter. We want you to try it free of charge. I'd like to give you a bag right now. Now, here's how we can do this. There's an easy way and there's a tough way. You can call me right now at 1-866-405-8405. I'll get your address and I'll send you a bag.
Is that the easy way?
You decide which is the hard way or the easy way. They actually both seem pretty
They're both
easy. Or head on over to animalradio.com right now. Anybody within my listening voice can head on over to animalradio.com and click on the world's best cat litter logo or banner. There's two of them on the front page of animalradio.com. Click on either one and you will get your free bag of world's best cat litter. Good stuff. Try it now.
Hi, this is Joy Behar on Animal Radio. Please spay and neuter your pets.
Hi, I'm Victoria Jackson, and you're listening to Animal Radio.
This is an Animal Radio news update brought to you by World's Best Cat Litter, the only litter made from whole kernel corn.
For Animal Radio News, I'm Lori Roberts with the word that September is Disaster Preparedness Month. And the American Veterinary Association is reminding folks the importance of having a plan and to be sure to include your pets and livestock in that plan. Because during those times when things can get so hectic, it's made even more stressful if there isn't a plan in place to make sure animals are cared for. To get some help on this, you can check out their website at avma.org. Is that a tiger in your suitcase, or are you just glad to see me? A 31-year-old Thai woman was stopped at an airport in Bangkok when authorities found a 2-month-old tiger cub in her luggage. She was having trouble struggling with a very large bag. She wanted to check for her flight to Iran. Undoubtedly, after I'm sure she was told, no, that's not going to fit in the overhead bin, you're going to have to check it. Well, they decided to x-ray her luggage and found several stuffed tiger toys as well as the drugged tiger cub. Officials are investigating if the cub was wild-born or captive bred. Tigers are listed as endangered or worse by the International Conservation of Nature. The extinct 10-foot-tall flightless bird, the pharmaceuticals, was known to be a vicious fighter, but recent CT scans of the South American bird have found that they actually used their heads like hatchets. Scientists said that they would dance around like Muhammad Ali, using their speed and hatchet-like skull, repeatedly striking and killing their prey. In other words, they were the prehistoric version of today's CEOs. Oyster herpes on the rise in Europe. Now those poor oysters are never going to be able to get a date. What's oyster speak for? No, it's really only a cold sore. Come back. The disease can't be passed on to humans, but it does kill the oyster, which is affecting the fishing levels, and global warming is suspected as the culprit. Now, you know, when this person came up with this idea, all the family and friends around probably said, you've gone completely out of your mind. But you never know. Well, here's the deal. Most of us know the tremendous pain that occurs when a pet passes away, and many have the pet's ashes saved in an urn. But you can't hug an urn, hence HuggablePetUrns.com. Yep. These are plush, soft, dog-shaped urns you can hug. No word on if they're going to be coming up with a cat version. I sure hope they do, because one of our kitties is in a dresser drawer, and it sure would be nice to dress her up a little bit. And finally today, the Dahlonega, Georgia Wildlife Preserve is home to one of the strangest hybrids in the world. A zedonk. The animal has black stripes on his tail and face and is the offspring of a zebra dad and a donkey mom. Isn't it amazing what you can do with internet dating? I am almost positive that they met on that exclusive website. You know what I'm talking about? The one that's ISwishMyTailAtYou.com. For Animal Radio News, I'm Lori Roberts.
This has been an Animal Radio News Update brought to you by World's Best Cat Litter. Here's the tip for choosing a litter. Try a litter that resembles what cats naturally use. Soft, fine-grained litters most closely resemble the sand and dirt preferred by cats in the wild. Secondly, remember that cats have a keen sense of smell. Get more tips from Dr. McPete at www.worldsbestcatlitter.com/radio.
Every once in a while, something comes into our studios that we want to share with our listeners, whether it be a toy or a shampoo or a food product. And we have a brand new food product that we just love. They're a sponsor of Animal Radio called By Nature. You've heard us talking about them the last few weeks. Let me tell you something. The animals are going crazy for it. The cats absolutely love it. There's like a sardine, mackerel, seafood flavor that they just go crazy over. It's like a treat for them. And we know it's healthy stuff, too. We wanted to bring Deborah Reddick in. She does business development for Kent Nutritional Group. She's also the proud mom of 9 dogs, 1 cat, and 3 horses.
Whoa.
I figured she'd be the perfect person to talk to about By Nature. Welcome to the show, Deborah. Do you want to be called Deborah, Deb, or Debbie?
Debbie is fine.
How are you doing today, Debbie?
I'm doing well. How are you folks doing? So you like the food?
Oh, absolutely love it.
Our kids do.
That one test I can see. They love it. Now, what about the nutrition? What makes it so darn nutritious?
The thing about By Nature foods is certainly, as the name indicates, it's a natural product. It's an all-natural product. But the important things to remember about cats is cats are considered obligate carnivores. They really must have meat in their diet to do well. And a lot of it has to do with the amino acid profile of the foods, amino acids being building blocks of protein. So the By Nature foods are naturally occurring meats. They don't have grains in them like corn, wheat, soy, which really are not digestible in the cat.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of what makes it such a great product, a very high in meat quality, no fillers in it, and an all-natural product.
You know, you look at some of these foods on the shelf, the first product is a grain.
And it's particularly crazy for cats. But cats are different than dogs. Cats are not small dogs. Their digestive systems are very different, and they have very specific nutritional needs.
I have a question about, is he around? Kind of, well, I'm going to talk a little quieter.
He's not here in the studio.
He's a big cat. He's maybe just a little bit overweight.
Well, we have the perfect thing for him.
Okay.
We do have a weight control product, and what's good about our weight control products, some of cat foods that have weight controls are, they lower the protein levels, which you really don't want to do. What we do is we lower the fat levels in it, so we maintain that high-quality protein that's very digestible and very good for the cat, but we lower the calories by lowering the fat.
I think one of the best ways to check to see if this is the food for your animal is to sample. I always say you need to sample the foods. And I'd like to give away a free bag of food, not only to a caller right now, but to anyone who's listening to me right now. Within the sound of my voice, I want you to try By Nature, and all you have to do is head on over to the animalradio.com website. And there's two graphics on the front page, one at the top, one at the bottom. One that says By Nature on the bottom, and then a banner on the top that says By Nature.
Mm-hmm.
Hit that, and you will get a free bag of By Nature.
Either one of those they can hit?
Either one of those will take you there. It's a 7-pound bag, and you have these great formulas. You have the grain-free chicken and potato, which you can choose from the 7 seafood platter, and the By Nature weight control chicken, salmon, and duck formula.
And also the organic. So if you have some listeners out there that are really interested in organic sourcing of products, we have a whole organic line.
It is good stuff. Debbie, thank you so much for sharing with us today.
Oh, well, I appreciate the time.
Deborah Reddick joining us, the Manager Business Development of Kent Nutritional Group.
Thank you.
The whole gang, Dr. Debbie here to answer your vet medical questions. Dog Father Joey Villani, 1-866-405-8405. Hi, Jeanette.
Hi. How are you?
Very good. Where are you today?
Louisiana.
How can we help you? I got the good doctor right here, Dr. Debbie.
Hey.
Okay. Well, I have a 3-year-old poodle that seems to think she is a cow. She eats grass all the time.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm glad she's not producing milk for you.
Yeah. No,
okay.
We let her out the door, and she runs and grabs it, and all the time she's playing, she keeps eating it. And I was wondering if that would be harmful.
Well, not directly, although pets that eat a lot of grass, there's a lot more opportunity for ingesting, the opportunity for parasites. And, grass doesn't always digest well, so a lot of times that comes right back up at you, and you'll have those little green grassy spots all over with vomit. So it's not in itself a bad thing, but sometimes it can be a symptom that something else isn't quite right. Although there are the occasional dogs that I really just call them lawnmower dogs, because they enjoy the practice of just eating grass, and for them it really is a self-rewarding behavior. But what would you tell me about her digestion, as far as does she have good poops? Does she seem like a good eater?
Does. Everything is normal, except that she does have a tendency to get bloated, and her stomach feels real hard sometimes. I was wondering if that was from the grass.
It really shouldn't be, but that's kind of what I was looking for. Any other little sign digestively that might mean something else is going on. Okay. And one thing that we often look at is if it's something where her belly is always kind of big and bloated, there's a lot of different medical things I would look for digestively, sometimes starting with an x-ray to see if there's something physically in there. But if it's something more that comes and goes associated with the timing of her eating or her digestive pattern, we might look at her current diet. We might suggest maybe going some hypoallergenic routes there for problems that could be brewing, such as inflammatory bowel disease, which is a big problem in dogs, just as it is in people. So there can be some diet regimens we can go there to try to help that. For a dog that also eats a lot of grass and we're kind of trying to troubleshoot the problem, I'll look at doing really aggressive deworming protocols. Even if you don't see worms in your area, I guarantee you your veterinarian will probably tell you it's time to do deworming maybe once a year to even twice a year. Even better if you're doing it once a month in a heartworm product. That's even better. And then some dogs, I'll also look at a probiotic supplement just to kind of help set the balance in the gut so that if diet is good and everything else is right, that we're just kind of helping restore the healthy GI flora and trying to keep that going at a normal rate and to keep our immune status up. So there's a lot of different products like that. There's one called Prostora, another called Fortiflora. Good old yogurt just doesn't do it for dogs for a lot of different reasons. Won't hurt them, but it's just not a good probiotic for dogs. So those might be some things I'd look at as well. The other thing then with this grass is we need to kind of restrict her access to it. So as much as she enjoys it, there's ways with either the gentle lead type harnesses or keeping her on a light leash when you do take her out so that we focus on business and not on the lawn mowing there.
Yeah, because we have a backyard and we let her go out there and she plays ball and she'll push it around with her nose and then she'll stop and grab a bunch of grass and chew on it. And if I tell her to put it down, normally she will. She'll just drop it out of her mouth.
But it's so much fun, though. You can tell.
And that's she makes a game out of it, but she seems to ingest a lot, too.
Yeah, and if it is to that point, then it is something that I would take action. The occasional grass nibbler, I don't give them a hard time. And I kind of look the other way when my dogs do that or when they chew on the little occasional stick, because you can create more problems if you focus on it and make it something that they're afraid you're going to yell at them about. If we give a redirected behavior, something else like playing ball or chasing a stick or chewing on a bone, that helps to take that behavior away from gnawing on that grass and giving her a positive outlet. So I think you can do it, Jeanette.
Thanks for your call today.
I do too. Thank you.
1-866-405-8405 to connect with any one of the Dream Team right now.
This is
Animal Radio.
As you all know, many emails. I would like to address two most common for the last few weeks, which I received. People asking me, Vladdy, what the heck dog training color you are always recommending? And my answer would be Herm Springer, it's a German, Herm Springer dog training colors. Very humane, very gentle, create a gentle grip through the neck, imitate a doggy mama bite, will not hurt, will not harm your pets. And this is would be starting point of dealing with unruly pets. I highly suggest you get for your little terrorist pinch
he does
collar.
have a very bad attitude.
We can keep complaining, or we can take the actions. This is the only color I solely approve. They're very humane.
What is the name of it?
Prong collar with quick release by company Herm Springer.
And that's spelled HERMSPRENGER. And, of course, we have links at the Animal Radio website.
Got it.
Sometimes people are crazy. Dogs are okay. That's for sure.
Fido Friendly is the travel and lifestyle magazine for you and your dog. Each issue includes hotel and destination reviews along with health and wellness topics, dog training tips, and the latest fashion trends. Pick up a copy at Borders, Barnes & Noble, Hastings, or go online to FidoFriendly.com and subscribe today. Fido Friendly is the only magazine dedicated to the travel and lifestyle of man's best friend and the one magazine your dog will thank you for.
When I went looking for a quality allergen-free dog food for Roscoe, a friend told me about Canine Caviar. Being a born skeptic, I examined every ingredient and most importantly, made sure it drove our dog's taste buds crazy. Here's the lowdown. Canine Caviar is holistic, allergen-free, with raw dehydrated meats, herbs, fish oil, and flaxseed for health and joint support. Good food for Roscoe from a company I can trust. Ask your pet store for Canine Caviar. Learn more at caninecaviar.com.
Well, hi, Lynn. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Where are you today?
In South Lake Tahoe.
Oh, listening on KOWL?
Yeah.
Can you come back in? Dr. Debbie just went to get a drink of water. She needed to hydrate there.
It's actually Diet Coke, and that's my vice.
Mine's Diet Pepsi.
Oh, Diet Pepsi is your vice?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I just I had talked to my vet, but we have a puppy, an Australian Shepherd, and I just wondered what you recommend age-wise to get him neutered. Okay. I was told like 5 to 6 months, but I wondered if there's things that should his testicles have dropped by then? He still doesn't lift his leg peeing. He's more like a squat still.
Okay. In general, I'd say that my veterinary recommendation is about 6 months for the castration surgery. That's before we start to see the bad behaviors, marking around the house, a little bit pushy dominance or aggressive behaviors. As far as in our community, we have one of those laws that says that you have to neuter your dog and cat by 4 months of age. And I don't dispute the law, but I would say my preference is 6 months. And for some things like, testicles, yes, they ought to be dropped by 6 months. But actually, those little suckers should be falling on those puppy visits. So usually on the 3 month, the 4 month visits, if those testicles aren't there, then I maybe get a little concerned. But by 6 months, they should be in their normal position. If they're not, that might be a condition called cryptorchidism, where the testicle doesn't drop normally. Not that we would wait necessarily longer, just means we have a little abnormality to deal with. But as far as neutering wise, you said he's 5 months right now?
He's 6 months.
Oh, he's 6 months. So, yeah, I think he's old enough to sign up. And if he's not lifting his leg, I don't know that waiting longer may necessarily help him. It's not necessarily a hormone-driven behavior. A lot of times it's learned from other dogs around him. So might help to take him to the dog park and let him watch some of the big boys, and he might pick up that behavior. Otherwise, it might just be a little bit more time, and he'll find it.
Sometimes I sit down too.
Too much information.
So what you said earlier, it is better to do it before he shows signs of aggressive behavior. So
absolutely, yeah. Okay. And I found some people that actually wait because they're waiting to see those signs. And actually, behaviorally, we can avoid so many more problems if we don't allow that to actually happen in the first place. So yeah, I would endorse the old snip snip for your friend.
Okay.
Thanks, Lynn.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening. 1-866-405-8405 to connect with anyone of the Dream Team now.
Kimpton Hotels and Restaurants, the very first full-service hotel to respect and welcome pets. Kimpton's hospitality program offers plush beds, designer dining bowls, pet treats, toys, along with services for dog walking and pet sitting. No restrictions for size, weight, or type of animal, as well as 0 fees or pet deposits. Come stay at a Kimpton hotel whenever you travel. L.A., San Francisco, San Diego, Chicago, Dallas, and many more. Go to www.KimptonHotels.com for Kimpton Hospitality.
Did you know that 80% of dogs and 70% of cats show signs of oral disease by age 3? Now there's a healthy and natural solution. Pets Life Oral Care is an all-natural blend of extracts and oils that provide a safe solution, and no brushing is required. Perfect for senior pets. Pets Life Oral Care products are available in over 10,000 stores, including PetSmart. Call 888-453-4682. That's 888-453-4682. Or visit PetsLife.com. That's petswithaz.com.
You're listening to Animal Radio.
1-866-405-8405 to connect with any one of the Dream Team right now. Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions. Dog Father Joey Villani with your grooming expertise. Animal communicator Joy Turner, and Vladi, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, all in place to help you right now. Also, coming up in the news, another recall, a smaller recall of Imes food. Did you just get off the phone? Yes? I'm sorry. Joey, someone is calling for you just now. Want to know if you're a single man.
If I'm a single man... You know what? It all depends. Was it a man or a woman?
Oh,
it was a woman. It was a woman.
It was a woman. You know what? My wife, tragically, my wife, she's gone. So yeah.
I'm a single man. Joey.
No, I'm only joking. I'm happily married and no kids, but happily married.
How long have you been married?
I'm going on 10 years. October 15th. I waited a while.
Wow.
There you go. Okay. Well, if you want to talk to Joey and keep it to the grooming questions,
yes, please.
Really. That's where he draws the line. Dr. Debbie is here as well, and she is also a married woman. Animal communicator Joy Turner. I believe she's single. Isn't she single?
Absolutely, I am.
There you go.
But not for ladies, please.
And Vlade, we know, is also a married man there. He also gets the same kind of calls that Joey gets there.
Uh-huh.
I believe we have on line 4, we're going to Paul. Hey, Paul, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Animal communicator Joy Turner is here with you.
Hi, Paul. How can I help you today?
Yes, Joey. I had a pet skunk for 9 years, and she was in the truck with me here. I'm a driver. And I had to have her put down about a year ago, and I felt really bad about it ever since. She had bad problems with arthritis, and the vet said he'd get really aggressive with her, but he didn't really give a very good prognosis. So I had her put down, and I really felt bad about it. I just wondered if she could tell you whether I did the right thing.
And can you tell me her name, please?
Her name is Sassy.
Okay. She is so funny when she comes to me. She walked up to my mind kind of very cautiously, because you know how people will think about skunks.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted to make sure I was okay. And I said, oh, yes, honey, please come right on in. It's all right. So she wants to, first of all, thank you so much that you would care so much about her that you would check on her. And she says she does understand what you did, so she doesn't have an issue with it.
I thank you so much. That makes me feel much better.
She says she knows you did what you did because you loved her, and how could she ask for anything more than that?
Yeah, she was with me for 9 years, and she was like a part of me.
She says she has a question for you.
Yeah.
Would you want another skunk?
No, I don't think another skunk could ever take her place.
She wants you to understand it would be her soul coming back to you.
Oh, I may consider that.
Okay. And she says you do know that souls can come back to you again, yes?
Yes, yes.
Yes. She has been kind of wanting to come back to you, but not sure how you would take that.
Oh, I'd love it.
Okay. She said, all right, then give her, she thinks about 6 months, and then look for her.
Okay, thank you very much. I will do that.
You're very welcome.
Paul, I gotta ask. It's a very unusual animal to be the guardian of. What's it like being a skunk guardian?
Skunks require a lot of attention. If you can't be with them all the time, they brood. They will tear your bed up. You have to be with them all the time, and it was perfect for a truck.
Yeah. I bet you learned that the hard way, though, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She used to use my shoes for her laboratory.
Oh. Now, I guess what do you do then? De-skunk them? De-smell them? You got to do something, right?
Bought her from a fur farm in Iowa.
Okay.
So actually, I rescued her from being made into a pelt.
Oh.
And they instantly, as soon as the baby skunks are born, they descent them in not a very humane way.
Oh.
They actually reach in and jerk the scent glands out.
Oh.
But, yeah, she was descented. I do have a friend that has one that is not descented.
Ooh. No, that can't be
fun. Well, unless they get upset, they only use the scent as a last resort.
Sure.
So they've never had a problem with her.
Wow.
Definitely intriguing. Never heard of it. I bet you all the other truckers just love that, too, huh?
They're wonderful pets. I worked for Dick Simon Trucking at the time, which was the trucks with a skunk on the side of them.
So it worked out good for you there.
It worked out real good.
Well, Paul, we appreciate your call today. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much.
Can you imagine that, having that skunk that had its scent glands, and people come in the house, whatever you do, don't upset the skunk.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't want to do that whatsoever. You probably never had the opportunity to groom a skunk, have you?
No, believe it or not, I did. Yes, I did.
You did?
It was years ago. Yes, I did. I didn't groom it myself. It was actually one of the instructors when I was a kid of the school that I eventually took over. She had gotten a skunk and she put it in the tub, and it was funny because actually they filled the tub up with water, and the skunk like I'm not gonna say almost like he swam in the tub. I remember, and she took him out and dried it, and he rolled around the table. He loved it. He loved it to death.
Wow, they must be like ferrets in a way. I don't know. I've never known anyone that's had a skunk as a pet. personally. 1-866-405-8405. You can touch base with Dr. Debbie, or dog father Joey Villani, animal communicator Joey Turner, or Vladi, the world famous Russian dog wizard. Have you ever been to Aspen, Colorado?
I've never been to Aspen. I've been all over the country, but that's one place I haven't been. I always wanted to go. I'm not a skier. I don't know, just the ambiance of sitting in the lodge drinking hot cocoa. Maybe have one of those fake plaster casts on my leg to tell people I went down the big slope or something, you know.
Animal Radio is brought to you by Kimpton Hotels. Are you traveling to Aspen? Stay at the Sky Hotel and bring your pet.
Now I know where to stay when I go.
At the Sky Hotel, yeah. Dogs and cats may not ski free, but they stay free. Any size, weight, or breed. Now that's hot dogging, if I may say so myself. Find out more at Kimpton Hotel's hospitality program by calling 1-888-KIMPTON, KIMPTON. Thanks, guys, for sponsoring Animal Radio.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio.
And welcome. I'm Hal Abrams.
I'm Judy Francis.
1-866-405-8405 to get in touch with Judy Francis, and then she will decide, is this question something for Joey Villani, our groomer extraordinaire? And Joey, you would have the solution, ultimately, I assume. Dr. Debbie.
I hope so.
Yeah, I would hope so. We pretty much think we know all answers here.
We haven't stumped him yet.
No, we haven't. And you should see our animals. They look pretty cool, too. Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions. Animal communicator Joey Turner. Just in case you're brand new to Animal Radio, you don't know who the lineup is. Vladi, the world famous Russian dog wizard, is here with your most vexing behavior questions. And we welcome to the Dream Team Lori Roberts, our new news director here at Animal Radio. She's working on a story about the VPI Pet Insurance Hambone Award for the oddest insurance claim.
Oh, those are funny.
Yeah, well,
afterwards, once the pet's okay.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
Of course, VPI is a pet insurance company, and the way they promote their company is by sending out press releases about the strange animals, the strange incidences that they have to pay for. And they have the story about a lab, and you know labs, they get into just about anything. Ate an entire beehive, bees and all. The owner didn't notice until she began vomiting hundreds of bees. That story coming up in just a few minutes with Lori Roberts. Yeah, you got to keep your dogs away from the bees. And you got to keep them away from certain Lyme's food. There's another recall this week. Seems like we went a week without.
But it seems like ongoing.
It really does.
These recalls.
And it's all because of salmonella. All the recalls we've had in the last few months, ultimately because of possibly salmonella-tainted food. And I don't know how many actual sicknesses, if any, there have been, but I will give you the lot numbers that you need to know of the food you need to stay away from. And
it's funny. How do they figure it out afterwards, though? That's the part that always. I mean, does somebody get in touch with IMS? I mean, how do they find out about it?
Well, they go back and they test these areas where the food is produced, and they see that there could be salmonella bacteria there, and then they just recall the lots that are produced in those particular areas. I believe that's how it works. It sounds like a good story, doesn't it? I mean,
I believed it.
Did you believe me?
It sounds good to me.
Yeah.
But in any case, we'll give you all that information coming up in just a few minutes. Dr. Debbie's in today. She's a little upset today. She's upset that people go to the internet for advice, veterinary advice.
Oh, I'm guilty of that. I try to use it just as a reference, a starting point to find out what's going on.
But you can find pretty much anything good or bad on the internet.
I find conflicting, information on the same thing.
Do you do that, Joey? Do you look for information on the internet that you trust?
No, I got a lot of veterinarian friends, and it's easier just to pick up the phone and dial. But you know what? I'll tell you, what's hard is some veterinarians actually charge now for giving advice over the phone. Do you know that?
I've heard about that.
Really?
Yeah, they want to talk to you.
Yeah, they do. So I mean, it's a catch-22 there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now wait a second. They would charge to give you advice in their office. Why shouldn't they charge to give you advice over the phone?
You got me there, Hal.
Well,
I don't know. It just sounds unethical to me.
Yeah, you may not have.
I mean, say come in, let me examine your dog if you really want want the money that bad. But I mean, if you got a customer and they're worried about their pet and it's something that really they shouldn't be worried about, and I could tell them, listen, don't worry about it. I mean, make them feel good. I think that's only going to bring me more business. I don't know.
I think you're right.
In the long run, it will.
As a good business practice technique, it would be advisable that you don't turn away people that ask for an immediate consultation by charging them. But so I totally understand that. 1-866-405-8405. The beauty of that phone number, it's free. It's toll-free. And at the other end, Dr. Debbie, she'll answer your questions free of charge. Dog Father Joey Villani, well, he'll harass you a little bit, but he won't charge you. Animal communicator Joy Turner, she'll answer your calls free, too. And also Vladi, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, who has a 3-month waiting list. You can get in to speak to him right now.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Animal Radio is brought to you by
One Shot Plus Multi-Purpose Cleaner attacks everyday stains, pet stains, crayon marks, mildew. One shot and it's gone. Call 1-866-734-1120 or go to oneshotplus.com to get yours now.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio.
Did those tattoos hurt, Joey?
Anyone who says they didn't hurt going on is a liar. I'll tell you that right now. As everyone says, I say one thing. When they start getting into it, you can kind of get into the pain a little bit because it's not excruciating, but it gets annoying, and you start saying to yourself, when are they going to be done? When are they going to be done?
See, I thought when I got mine, it was like it became numb after a while. Once I hit it so many times with that needle, it just becomes numb. You don't feel it.
You got a tattoo?
I've got a tattoo. Yeah, I've got some ink, Cal. Yeah, I do.
Where?
It does, but more than an hour and a half. Oh, really? You got to show us.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Look it right here.
Well, we're waiting.
Right here.
Oh, that's like a little ladybug. That's not even a tattoo. Is that like a birthmark?
You're looking birthmark. You're looking at the wrong place.
What
are your tattoos, Joey Villani?
Well, you know what? I got a lot of stuff going on me here. I got a lot of Japanese tribal art on my forearms.
I see that.
As you go up my arm, I did a lot of things growing up. I was a stagehand. I toured. I grew up in the heavy metal stage, so I got a little Iron Maiden going on my arm, and then I got a panther up there with a tribal, and I got a lot of things going on. If I would have waited until I was older, I would have got a lot of things that probably were a little bit more fashionable.
Like poodle? You would have had a poodle monogrammed, I'm sure, right on you.
I'm going to put a poodle on my chest now. Well, and then when I flex my chest, it'll turn into a pit bull. How's that?
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, is getting a tattoo more painful than doing anal glands on a dog?
I don't know, unless you're the dog, maybe. I wouldn't want nobody messing around back there on me.
You're asked to do that frequently. You're asked to clean the anal glands of dogs. It's part of the grooming thing, and you're going to be talking about that later on. It's not a very rewarding.
It's not attractive, but you know what? I get excited talking about it for some reason.
You do.
It's one of those things.
That's strange.
There's a lot of stories that go behind that. Maybe I'll tell you one later.
Dog Father Joey Villani getting excited over anal glands, and Dr. Debbie getting excited over the smell of yeast infections. It's all right here on Animal Radio. You want to keep your lab out of the honeybees and the beehives. A big story about a Labrador who ate a beehive. It was a pet insurance company's award for the oddest claim coming up in just a few minutes.
Oof.
Yeah,
what won't a Labrador eat? That's
Labrador's
what I want to know.
Let's head on over to Hartford. Hi, Hartford. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
Good. What's going on today?
Well, I'm calling about the newest addition to my family. I have a little dog. She's a Maltese mixed with Terrier, and she's 19 months old. And I'm concerned about her diet because she's just not eating the food that I'm putting out. And I really want to try to find like a standard diet for her. But there's so many varieties of foods out there, and of course everybody's an expert when it comes to dogs as far as my neighbors. But I really would like to give her something because I get very nervous when she doesn't eat.
So what's her general body condition? How is she filled out?
She's fine. She's got a small little frame. She's a small breed. And she's got a lot of energy when we walk, but, like I said, she just doesn't eat. She drinks a lot of water. And I also have 3 cats, too.
Okay. And so as far as with her eating, so what's the pattern? Does she typically, if you put the food down, is it a food that you leave out all day long, free feeding, or do you set down mealtime for her?
I set down a mealtime because I usually feed her at the same time I feed my cats, and they eat in a separate room. But I usually we all try to eat at the same time. So in the morning, and then I have something in the evening, and maybe during the day I might give her like a little snack, like a doggy biscuit or something.
And so when you put down the food, does she not always, tell me what her patterns are with that.
I mean, I put it down, and sometimes she eat it. Depends on what it is. Like, I know she'll respond to, like, vegetables. Like, if I give her, like, a carrot or something or mix it in with something, she'll eat that. But usually, like, a dry food, she doesn't eat it, or any of the wet foods. And there's so many different, like I said, such a variety out there, I don't know which one, she's not responding to all of them. So
part of the challenge, I think, here in your situation is you're kind of confused, and I think that it leaves her no direction as far as for what she really ought to be eating and what's going to be presented at this is your diet. Mm-hmm. Some little dogs can be so incredibly picky that if we it's almost kind of like a child. If you say, what do you want for dinner? They're like, I don't know, I might want a grilled cheese sandwich or chicken wings or what have you. They don't really know what they want. So if we expose them to everything and anything, they're kind of overwhelmed, and they'll say, I kind of remember that food. That was kind of cool, and I won't eat this, and that other food might come around the next time. So the best thing I can suggest is to really get into a pattern and to establish what she does have for general preferences. So if she generally, and this is the problem, I like dogs to be on dry food. Right. I find a lot of the small toy breeds, it's not always feasible because sometimes we've given into their little whims when they're young. Sometimes they come with other people teaching them that, table food is the way to go, or canned slop food that's got all that gravy stuff in there. Right. Sometimes we can't always undo those things. Now, I'm a tough mom. I put the food down. If it's not eaten, I take it up and it goes away. And that's the way that you basically, once you make a decision on a food, this is one I want to feed, that's how you do it. You set it down. If it's not eaten, it goes away. It's not there to be nibbled on through the day because that doesn't encourage that appetite and to say, okay, this is the food. I want you to eat that now. That helps to set a regular rhythm, if you will, digestively for dogs. And it also is kind of a psychological thing. Okay. I do like to time when pets that have a problem eating, I like to time that when humans in the household eat too, because there can be a social bonding experience with food. And this is why we give treats to our pets, because we like it. It's a social bonding thing. But let's take that and try to turn that into not so much the treats throughout the day, but into the food experience. So if we eliminate the treating, focus on the mealtime and presenting that food and then taking it away, that goes a long way. Okay. Now, as far as certain brands, I guess it's going to be hard to really work through what particular brand of food might work. Mm-hmm. In the dry formulas, I can tell you in many cases I've recommended Royal Canin has a small bite food that's particularly made for fussy eaters, I believe is even on the label. Mm-hmm. And I've had some clients who feel that helps transition them to a dry food. But remember, if you're dressing the food with little drippings of meat or cheese or rice, things like that, that's going to be more appetizing than the dry food. So you have to kind of decide how tough love you want to be about this in getting into a stable diet.
Well, is that wrong that I give her, like I said, I give her carrots or like a little vegetable? She likes carrots or peas or something like that. Is that okay?
It's not a bad thing in itself, and I often tell people to give carrots as treats, mm-hmm. but I think the big focus is that, we want to make sure we're getting a good base diet in. So if that's distracted by some of these things, we just have to kind of scale back on that. And I'm not going to say don't do it, but let's just be aware how much of it you're providing and make sure that the bulk of everything is the food. It's possible she might be she's a little girl. Some of these little Malteses are just little tiny things, so they may only eat a quarter cup of food a day. Right. So, we want to keep it real as far as for the volume that you're feeding throughout the day.
Okay.
Hartford, good luck with that. 1-866-405-8405. Hold on a second. Hartford calling from Los Angeles there. If you want to check in from your hometown, 1-866-405-8405. It's toll free to speak to Dr. Debbie or dog father Joey Villani, animal communicator Joy Turner, or Vlade, the world famous Russian dog lizard right now.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Animal Radio is brought to you by Natural Balance Pet Food, the finest food you can buy for the health of your pet. No matter which line of Natural Balance Pet Food you choose, you know it will truly be the food for a lifetime. Visit www.naturalbalance.net to learn more.
Hi, I'm Steve Garvey, and I'm here with my good friend, actor, and pet food guru, Dick Van Patten.
Hiya, Steve. It's good to see you.
Dick, my two dogs have been on your Natural Balance for years. They love it. They look great. So what's the secret?
It's simple. Our formulas are developed by top nutritionists and based on scientific fact. And then they're made with the best ingredients.
It's just a winning combination.
It is. Just like Russell to Lopes to Garvey.
Thanks for that. Hey, everyone. If you love your pets like I love mine, try Natural Balance.
When it comes to controlling cat box odor, there's no such thing as good enough. Buy the best or smell the rest. In other words, get World's Best Cat Litter with patented formulas made from whole kernel corn. World's Best Cat Litter is 100% natural and scientifically proven to deliver unsurpassed odor control, compact clumping, and longer-lasting use. See what a difference just one bag makes. And for a limited time, save big when you buy. To download a coupon, go to worldsbestcattlitter.com/radio.
Why read a newspaper in the age of the internet? Because you take the time to think things through, like your love of animals. You want to know where your voice and donations can be most effective. Animal People is the newspaper for people who care enough about animals to give real thought to how best to help animals. Request your free sample copy at www.animalpeoplenews.org.
Let's face it, life happens, from spills to pet stains. One Shot Plus multi-purpose cleaner attacks everyday stains, eliminating the need for other cleaning products. Pet stains, crayon marks, mildew, One Shot and it's gone. Safe for the environment, your pets, and your family. Call 1-866-734-1120 and mention Animal Radio. That's 1-866-734-1120. Or go to OneShotPlus.com to get yours now.
You're listening to Animal Radio.
Another small recall this week of Lyme's food. More details on the way in just a few minutes. Seems like we went like a week or two without any recalls.
That's a rare oddity around here. There's a recall every week.
They say only about 60 bags of food were affected in this particular recall. And again, every recall we have, we put all the details up at the website, or you can get it Twittered to you or find it on our Facebook page. I'll tell you all about this particular one in just a few minutes here on Animal Radio. 1-866-405-8405 to connect with any one of the Dream Team. Judy, you just gave me this message from one of our listeners, Bill, Bob. Is it Bill or Bob? What's his name? He's calling back.
It was Bill.
He called for advice last week.
Well, he spoke to Joy, our animal communicator. He wanted to find out from his dogs if his wife was having visitors while he was on the road. He's a trucker.
When you say that, you wanted to find out if she was fooling around,
okay,
right?
That's what he wanted to ask his dogs.
Okay, and he did ask his dogs, yes. And his dogs said no. She's
nobody really coming around like that. No, nothing. They didn't see anything out of the ordinary, and this was done through Joy. And he called back to say that he believes his dogs lied.
His dogs lied to Joy that his wife is indeed fooling around on him.
Yes, and I tried to explain to him maybe they were just trying to protect him. They were worried about his feelings and didn't want to hurt his feelings, so they weren't really lying. They were just trying to protect him.
So he wants me to call him. Is that correct?
Oh, if you want.
Should I call him after the show?
Yeah, you can.
I'll call him after the show. Unless you're listening right now, Bill, Bob. Give me a call. Bill. Give me a call right now. We want to figure out what's going on there, certainly. Coming up in just a few minutes, the Dodge Journey Pet Destination of the Week.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! No, I'm not going to give my destination yet. I'm going to protect it because I don't want it to get overrun. But if you'd like to share your Dodge Journey Pet Destination, the place that you like to take your dog, your cat, your iguana, your duck, whatever it is, call us now at 1-866-405-8405. And if you share it with the rest of the world, I will give you prizes for your dog, cat, iguana, or duck.
Yeah, well, you have to entice them now, because why would they want to give out their place so it doesn't get overrun?
That's what I'm saying. I'm bribing you with valuable prizes. What was that? Valuable prizes. 1-866-405-8405 now for the Dodge Journey Pet Destination of the Week. Okay, another recall, and it seems like we went a week without one. P&G, Procter & Gamble, voluntarily recalling Iams dry cat food. And they actually estimate fewer than 60 bags have been purchased of this, and it's due to potential salmonella exposure, which seems like pretty much what all the recalls as of recent have been about. Let me go ahead and give you the details on that, and it's up at the website, too, if you miss any of this. It's Iams Indoor Weight Control with Hairball Care Dry Cat Food. It's the 6.8-pound bag, and the date on that, there's a code date, 023-04173. And like I said, all that information up at the Animal Radio website, and stay away from that food for right now. I also mentioned earlier, there's been no sicknesses, actual sicknesses from this. It's potential salmonella contamination. 1-866-405-8405. Hi, Judy.
Hi.
Where are you today?
I'm good. We're in Land O'Lakes, Florida.
Oh, that sounds beautiful over there.
It is. It's hot, though.
I bet it is. Hot all across the country here today. I have Lottie, the world-famous Russian dog wizard here, and he owns property in Florida.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Unfortunately, let me tell myself, unfortunately, now I cannot read of it now, but it's okay. Maybe it's going to get better in the future.
Yeah.
Judy, welcome to the show. How can I help you? And you know what? Let's do a little bit more different this time. Instead of you starting to tell me what the problem you have and blah, 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 why don't you just, make pretend. So I'm your dog.
Okay.
And just tell me, Vladdy, I don't want you to... What?
Chew on my furniture.
Okay.
And then he bites me.
And you don't want me to bite you, okay?
Yeah, because he'll come and he's playing around.
Judy, but I'm sleeping with you in your bed, I guess. That's what I'm, you expect me after that to listen to you?
That's true.
It's like a man, If you allow them jump in your bed, they're not going to listen to you after that. Okay, now let's get serious. So what breed of the dog you have?
He's a little Dachshund.
Oh.
And he's 4 months old.
Oh, that sausage dog?
Yeah.
That's the biggest threat to Americans, hell. Those, I'm serious. I mean, they're not making headlines on CNN, but boy, forget people about pit bulls. Those sausage dogs biting people more than any other breeds. They're very nuts. So, okay, so he biting you or your boyfriend?
He'll be sitting with me, and then he'll just start biting on me, and I'll tell him to stop. And then he gets a little vicious there, and he'll do it to my husband, but he'll say no to him, and he'll stop.
Oh, because
he doesn't want to stop.
He's the man,
Yeah.
Okay, and he's chewing on your legs too, yeah?
Yeah, he chews on me like a chewy, yep.
Okay, and how old is him?
He is 4 months.
Oh, boy, at this age?
He's a baby.
Yeah, come on. This baby is already almost like committing crime all the time. Boy,
yeah.
You gotta... Here's what I would like you to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think in your situation can be resolved if you will setting structures and rules in your home, which will basically give you some foundation for your authority. And after that, if you will use a few magic gadgets to stop him from doing whatever you describe me to do. About the discipline and structures. Here's what I would like you to do. Number one, you hate it or like it, he should not sleep with you in your bed anymore. He should sleep in the crate, okay?
Oh, okay.
If you want to put the crate not far away from your bed, so if he's crying in the crate, you can snap that crate as you say, so he would shut up.
Oh, okay.
Number two, I want to make sure and I will tell you how to do this. I know maybe it's what I'm telling right now, it's just probably thinking, how can I do this? Number two, I don't want him to come close to you while you or your husband are eating.
Okay.
Number 3, I don't want him barking in your home anymore.
Okay.
Barking is already biting, but hasn't been connected yet. So barking creates a lot of unhealthy energy, which translating into the drive, and drive create aggression.
Yeah.
And the last things, I don't want him. That's a little bit difficult, but so I guess I'm going to pass that one. I was about to tell you I don't want him to pull you on the leash, but it's going to be very difficult for you to without help. Okay, so how can you stop him from barking? You can stop him from barking by using one of 2 items. One of them is tossing the can with a few probably 4 or 5 pennies inside. When he barks, toss it next to him as you scream. Ah! Boom!
Oh, okay.
Number 2, you can use air sprayer device. Very inexpensive, very cute. Works as the magic by name Pet Convincer. Pet Convincer. One convincing air blast. Bad behaviors in the past. Okay?
Okay.
Next. With the same Pet Convincer, you can keep him away from you while you're eating. It's very important. While you're holding food in your hands, he should not be close to you.
Oh, okay.
And the last thing, as far as management is, I would like you to put him on 5-6 feet clothesline, like a light leash, like a light string.
Yeah.
Which would give him feeling of being on its own. Don't confuse it with leash, because leash is heavy. Leash has 2 positions, on and off. So if you put the leash on your dog and he's behaving, and after you unhook the leash, he gonna be like a girl who just graduated Catholic school, okay?
Right.
So instead of doing this, you put this light line on him, and you can gradually cut it through the process. So now if you tell him, whatever his name is, Max, come, and he tells you, no, mother, forget your mother, you can grab this line, and you can pull him toward you. So you start to catch him every time at any given time without physical confrontation.
Okay.
Because we need to set up our battles very carefully. But if your battles, which you initiated, you must win.
Okay.
So this thing will really allow you to manage. He jump on the furniture, say, Mama, change its mind, grab the rope, and he fly out from this furniture with the speed of Russian satellite-guided missile.
Oh, okay.
It means quick.
He does sleep, but he is fast.
That's what you know. If you allow him jump on the furniture and sleep with you in your bed, he's going to continue bite you. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So he jumps. You don't say. Just grab by the rope, not by the collar. He will snap you by the leash, by the rope. Excuse me, and boom, and he fly out.
Oh,
and that's it. And from that time, everything which I said will set up some type of authority on your part. From that time, if he's chewing on your legs, or if he is biting you, or even thinking about biting you, all what I want you to get, Pet Convincer device, Pet Convincer. And when you go to that website, put the magic word Vladae, VLADAE, and you're going to get discount coupon. Get that spray device, air spray. He bites you, and you're done with this issue. And that's going to be it. Thank you for calling us.
Thanks, Judy. 1-866-405-8405. Well, I'm happy to say that Ladybug, the studio stunt dog, has tried the brand new flavors. Actually, they're not new flavors. They're new flavors to her, but duck and lamb, Stella and Chewy's.
Wow.
And she loves them just as much as the chicken or the beef.
She just goes crazy over that stuff.
If you're looking for like one of those novel protein diets, duck, lamb, your veterinary has suggested novelty protein. Well, that duck and lamb are novelty protein. So you want to check this out. It's a very healthy food that your dog will love forever and ever and ever. And it's made for smaller dogs. I'll tell you that right now. It's a little patty, about the size of a quarter pounder with cheese or a Big Mac.
Yeah, it's not that big. A little bit smaller. Maybe a kid's hamburger.
Kid's hamburger. A little smaller than that. And you hydrate it. And you don't have to, by the way. They love them dry, too. You can hydrate it. You don't have to have cans to open all the time. It's light. It's easy. You don't have the smelly food with the stuff that you don't have to hydrate. Healthy ingredients, natural goodness, raw USDA-inspected meat raised naturally with no added hormones or antibiotics. And I got to tell you, right now is... people are more and more concerned. There's a lot of salmonella going around right now. A lot of different foods, major brand foods. Not in Stella and Chewy's. They are tested. They are pathogen-free. I also encourage you to check out their chicken treats for your dog or cat, too. Visit their website at StellaandChewies.com. Of course, we link to it from AnimalRadio.com, the very same place that you can get a free sample of Stella and Chewies. Thanks, guys, for sponsoring Animal Radio.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
This is an Animal Radio news update brought to you by World's Best Cat Litter, the only litter made from whole kernel corn.
Confirming or denying those myths about what is and isn't bad for your pet, I'm Lori Roberts for Animal Radio News. Chocolate deadly to dogs? Not true. It's not great for them, but it's not deadly. Swiffer and Febreze. This rumor became so huge via email that the SPCA had their poison control center check it out. Not true. Poinsettias, deadly? Whereas we are heading into the holiday season in a little while. That's not true, but what is true is that mistletoe is poisonous to both dogs and cats. Also, apparently, you should keep beehives out of reach. Questionable congratulations go to Ellie, a year-old Labrador Retriever from Santee, California, who won the VPI Pet Insurance Hambone Award for oddest insurance claim. The lab ate an entire beehive, something her owners noticed only after she began vomiting hundreds of bees. Exterminators had sprayed the hive, and Ellie went after it when all the bees were dead. My first thought when I saw that was, oh, man, I hope when she started to get sick that she was outside, or at the very least, don't do it on the carpet. Anyhow, Ellie was rushed to the vet, and she's doing just fine. She beat out 11 other stories, including a poodle that ate 2 baby bottles and a used diaper. One of the most disturbing things my black lab Cinder ever ate, and I mean, she didn't do anything like these dogs did, was when she sucked the top off of a lasagna that was on the counter. It was disturbing because she took the best part. It was all the cheese. Scientists, and probably your scratching pet, are confirming that this is the worst flea season in years. They say keep in mind, using dog flea products on cats is extremely harmful. We use the regular flea stuff we get from our vet once every 30 days. And Groucho, our Maine Coon, he can tell when I'm opening the container, and he goes and hides. Oh, it's weird, you know. If the other cats like it, fine. But also going late this summer is poison oak and poison ivy. The first time I had it, I didn't know what it was, but it was way ugly. I get it from our outdoor pets. Now you know where you may have gotten yours. I didn't know what it was, but somebody said, try Benadryl to get through my poison oak attack, and all that did was make me do a semi-comatose face plant into my salad at a fairly fancy lunch. If your pet is nice enough to bring you one of these joys, your doctor can help you out, and there's also products at pharmacies and natural health product stores. Researchers are trying to freeze sperm to save the hellbender, North America's biggest salamander. The 2.5-foot-long creature's numbers have been declining for years and are on the protected list in most states. They can live for decades and are also known as the devil dog or snot otter. The best way to get the sperm, and this apparently is universal among salamanders and 2- and 4-legged creatures, is to rub it between its front legs and tail. However, and this is also universal, if you want to get anywhere with anyone, don't call him snot otter. Fun it is to say, it's not going to get you anywhere romantically. For Animal Radio News, I'm Lori Roberts.
This has been an Animal Radio News update brought to you by World's Best Cat Litter. Here's a tip for traveling with your cat. If she's not familiar with crate travel, consider placing the crate in your home for a few weeks before your departure. Leave the door open and occasionally toss in a treat or two. Sooner or later, your cat will view the spot as a comfortable retreat. Get more tips from Dr. McPete at www.worldsbestcatlitter.com/radio.
1-866-405-8405 to connect with any one of the dream team here at Animal Radio. Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions. Dog father Joey Villani with your grooming questions. Animal communicator Jory Turner and Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, all toll-free at your beck and call. Now, 20 years ago, what would you do for your homework? Couldn't go to the internet.
Me?
Yeah, well, when I had homework, yeah. Couldn't go to the internet.
No, you had to have a set of encyclopedias books. And go to the library.
You know those books, those things that...
Britannica.
That you open and close and...
oh, yeah. I remember those.
The internet has brought a brand new world to us. We can really research almost anything that we want on the internet. And the unfortunate truth is that you can find anything you want, affirmative to anything you believe on the internet. And I know that you're very upset about this whole thing because you had a client come in today, and when you first walked into the studio, let me just say that you had a little bit of flop sweat, you looked very angry, you had kind of a red face, and I want you to vent. I want you to tell me what's on your mind.
Okay, I'm going to clarify because I'm not upset and angry.
Okay.
I'm just frustrated.
Okay.
Because you're right. The internet's a great thing. There's a lot of good stuff out there, but there's a lot of misinformation as well. And it can lead us down directions that maybe aren't always kind of the right way to go. And the example in point is I had a pet that came in, and the family researched things on the internet and came in with a diagnosis of a condition that was causing these leg signs. And instead of me being able to do my job the way I do, it was already, this is what it is. Now, as a veterinarian, my job is to ask questions because my patients don't talk, so I have to get as much information from the pet parent.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're unwilling to divulge those little things like, how's he eating? Where's he poop? Are we having any vomiting? Those little clues can be very important, and not just saying, I think he's diabetic. So that was my frustration. And in the end, this pet actually had an orthopedic problem. So it was a totally different direction that, we just they got down the wrong road by following things and signs that they were researching on the internet. So, and I know everybody likes to kind of, be smart.
It's fun.
It is. I love Jeopardy.
I love that
shouting out the answer. And I don't think as a veterinarian, any one professional thinks that we know it all. We don't. In most cases, pet parent knows more about that pet's behavior. But it's very important we hear all of those little eccentricities, things that are going on in the home environment, the problems, the good things, so we can really work towards a diagnosis. And in the end, there is really no veterinary school on the internet that gives a degree.
Yeah, so you can get the information, you can look, you can do your research, but that doesn't give you a degree. You're not a veterinarian because you know the answer, or maybe don't know the answer to a certain problem that your animal's having. So use it like everything else. Use it carefully, wisely.
And I'm going to jump in one more time because I love a well-educated client, meaning not that they come from higher education. I love someone who already knows, I'm worried about this, and these might be things that I heard that could be a problem, and does this sound right? And I like that. I like the tell me what you think kind of, and I'm not opposed to that. I'm not a, domineering veterinarian, but I think we really got to make sure that you just kind of keep your mind open, and sometimes we'll surprise you with wacky things,
1-866-405-8405 to connect with any one of the Dream Team. We have Ellen. Hi, Ellen. How are you?
Hey, great. How y'all doing?
Good. Where are you?
South Georgia.
Vlade, have you ever been to South Georgia?
No, I haven't been. Hi, Ellen. How are you?
Sure. I'm great.
Good. How can I help you?
Well, I have a 10-year-old Yorkie who has some kind of degenerating disease that she's going blind. And we found out in January she had cancer in one of her eyes, which had to be removed. We didn't have to have treatment or anything because they thought it was all just in the eye. I have a daughter who has a pit bull mix, and this is just an example of how she acts. She is so mean that she acts like she wants to kill him, and he tolerated it when he first met her. He just kind of backed up, and
pit bull is tolerating.
The pit bull tolerated her. He did not.
Okay.
He kind of backed away, like, what is that, and he's very young. He's about 2, I think. But I think the problem is she is so unsocial. I'm afraid she's going to get herself killed by going after some dog that's just not going to put up with it. And
okay, Ellen. Let me nicely stop you on that and just ask you a few questions. Number one, how she's behaving toward another dogs in general? Bad?
Bad, terrible.
Okay, and it was always that way. Am I right?
That's correct.
So she never been socialized really well, and that's what you end up with. Okay. Here's what it is. Short and sweet, almost like my producer, coaching me. Yeah, So I will tell very short and very sweet. I cannot be rude to you, especially you are from southern part of America. I love the Southern ladies. They are such a great people, whatever you can say in English. They know how to treat the man. Okay. They're almost like Russian ladies. Here is what I will do. I want to make sure. I'm not sure how long Yorkie gonna live, how many years that God give her. I mean, whatever it takes. But I want to make sure nothing bad is happening. That is why I will put it this way. Do whatever you can to provide security. Honestly, nothing you can do at this point of time to teach that old lady who is partially blind, partially grouchy, and things like that to stop her from doing. You can do maybe slightly, maybe disrupt the behavior, but you cannot teach the old dog new tricks as far as accepting that dog or any another dog. How often your daughter is bringing the pit bull in your home?
Actually, never. He never made it in the door because I was afraid he would just, get mad and hurt her.
Okay, so this is the easy solution. Prior to that person, your daughter bring pit bull, put the Yorkie in the crate, and get one device from internet by name Pet Convincer. Pet Convincer. Okay? Google it. It's a spray of the air. Basically, when your Yorkie barks, push the button, Yorkie will stop. Make sure to say, ah, as you push the button. It's like a blast of the air. One convincing air blast, that behavior in the past, Yorkie stop barking. You say, good girl, give her some treats, and just make sure pit bull doesn't come close to the crate. If he comes close to the crate, spray that pit bull too, and want to make sure, just focus your attention on daughter, give her some sandwiches, give her some food, have a wonderful time. If the Yorkie barks a few more times, stop by, give the corrections. If the Yorkie is quiet, give American cheese, vodka, whatever comes first, whatever Yorkie likes, and manage it through. I'm serious. Get the crate, get Pet Convincer, and do this way, and manage the situation once they will be for a while, a few times. Eventually, Yorkie will understand, hey, if I'm not barking, I get kalbas. If I bark, I get blast of the air. And that's, you can at least make sure you make situation be livable.
Ellen, we wish you the best of luck with that. Let us know if we can help you further. 1-866-405-8405 to connect with Vladi, the world-famous Russian dog wizard. It's no doubt that whenever we find something special here at Animal Radio, we want to share it with you. Judy brought to my attention Pet's Life, the oral care spray.
I needed some help with my pet's teeth.
You sure did. Animal Radio is brought to you by Pet's Life Oral Care. You know our cats can show signs of oral disease by age 3.
That's young.
That is. Pet's Life is the healthy and natural solution with no brushing required. Visit petslife.com. That's pets with a Z.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, we at Litter Robot are pleased to announce our new spokescat, Cousin Vinny the Cat.
Thanks. It's good to be here with you guys talking about this here Litter Robot that automatically cleans up after us cats do our business.
And what would you like to say to our audience about the Litter Robot?
My owner seems to be saving up lots of cash now that he's not buying so much cat litter. Plus, I don't have to put up with that stinking Litterbot smell no more. With Litter Robot, I get clean litter every time.
Right, Vinny. The Litter Robot saves on litter and eliminates odors.
And seriously, the chicks dig it.
Okay. Vinny, where can our audience buy a Litter Robot?
Well, you gotta go online to the Litter Robot website and order one. Them Litter Robot guys don't even charge you for shipping.
That's great. People can just order a Litter Robot online at www.litter-robot.com. Animal Radio listeners can now save $20. Just enter Animal Radio as the coupon code when checking out. Thank you, Vinny. We look forward to hearing from you again soon.
Yeah, anytime, pal.
When I went looking for a quality allergen-free dog food for Roscoe, a friend told me about canine caviar. Being a born skeptic, I examined every ingredient and, most importantly, made sure it drove our dog's taste buds crazy. Here's the lowdown. Canine caviar is holistic, allergen-free, with raw dehydrated meats, herbs, fish oil, and flaxseed for health and joint support. Good food for Roscoe from a company I can trust. Ask your pet store for canine caviar. Learn more at caninecaviar.com.
When Animal Radio picked America's top vet, they wanted to make sure that your animal's health came first. That's why they picked the Paso Robles Veterinary Medical Clinic. Treating animals for over 50 years with the latest diagnostic tools in their full-service hospital, the Paso Robles Veterinary Medical Clinic always puts your pets first. Call 805-238-4622 or visit them at PasoVets.com. That's Paso, P-A-S-O, Vets.com to get the best care for your pet.
This is
Animal Radio, baby.
The Dodge Journey has won the 2010 Pet Safe Choice Award because it has those fold-down stain-resistant seats, a chill zone glove box where I can put my beverages, as well as Ladybug's food, keep it fresh. her drinks. She has several drinks. She has like a broth-flavored drink and keep it nice and cool for her. A lot of storage options. They have the removable, washable liners. It's pretty easy to see why the Dodge Journey is the best car for every member of the family, even those with tails. Now,
the dog father's always been a Dodge guy for a long time, since the early 70s.
I know you have. You're all-American is what you are.
I'm the all-American guy.
If you want to get in on the Dodge Journey Pet Destination this week, give us a call right now, 1-866-405-8405. Tell us where you like to take your pets, your dog, your cat, your iguana, whatever animal it is. I told you, we're not speciest, and we'll give you prizes to run with your animals. But you got to share where your favorite place is. Hi, who's this?
Hi, this is Carol.
Hi, Carol. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. How about yourself?
Very good. Where do you live?
I'm in northeastern Pennsylvania in a small town of about 3,500 people, but probably double that in dogs, and it is called 40 Fort.
40 Fort? Now, that's where you live, or is that your Dodge Journey Pet Destination?
No, that's where I live.
Okay.
But right.
Is that near Reading, Pennsylvania?
It is about an hour and a half south of Reading.
Okay.
Eagles or Steelers?
You know what? I have to go with the Steelers.
All right, baby. That's my team.
Exactly. I think I wouldn't be able to walk the dog safely down the street if I picked any other team.
There you go.
So now where do you take the dog?
Oh, my favorite place is a place called Nemacolin in a town called Farmington, Pennsylvania. And actually, this is a nice segue, that is in Steelers country. It is gorgeous. It's on 2,000 acres, and there's a chateau where people could stay, the humans could bring their dogs, but if you want to stay with your dog there, the entire 2,000 acres is Fido-friendly.
Oh.
However, it's spectacular. It's just that if you didn't want to take the dog and have him or her stay in the hotel, they have a place called Wooflands.
What is it called? Woof what?
Yeah, it sounds like Woodlands, but it's called Wooflands.
Wooflands.
Yeah.
That is cool. That is great.
It is. It's so much fun. And I took a tour of the place with my dog Dexter, and he didn't want to leave. He saw the indoor pool that's there just for dogs to have fun in. In fact, there was a Labrador Retriever the day we visited, and he was just it's almost like he was doing belly floppers in the pool. He was just taking a run and throwing himself in the pool. They have Coranda elevated beds, climate-controlled rooms.
Wow.
Custom meals. I actually tried to check in, and they said no.
They didn't let you do that. Okay. Carol has given us the Dodge Journey Pet Destination of the Week in Farmington, Pennsylvania. Now, we have all of these listed up at the website, and this is good because we've had a lot of West Coaster. It's good to hear from the East
Very
Coast.
excited. It's
this sounds like my favorite one.
It does.
This sounds like this sounds real nice.
I like it. If you want to see all the destinations, head on over to the website at animalradio.com. Carol, thanks so much for sharing. Hold on, I have stuff for Dexter.
Alrighty.
Here's a fact. 17,000 years ago, the first dog was domesticated from a pack of wolves. Here's another fact. The Dodge Journey is a domesticated crossover, a direct descendant of our muscle cars. The Journey recently won the 2010 Pet Safe Choice Award, an honor decided by humans and dogs. Was it the stain-resistant seating, the in-floor storage bins with removable and washable liners, or is it that dogs relate to this vehicle?
This is
Animal Radio.
Animal Radio is brought to you by SeniorPetProducts.com. As your best friend settles into middle age and shows signs of slowing down, SeniorPetProducts.com is there to help your senior pets live to the fullest with thousands of products for the life of your pet. SeniorPetProducts.com.
Yes, you heard right. Lori Roberts reported that it is the worst flea season in a decade this year, and that we're actually probably going to get a little more before it ends.
You know, that the fleas are getting used to all the chemicals is the problem. I mean, I see this every 5 years in grooming salon. What they'll do is they'll come out with a new product. Mm-hmm. It'll work for so long. The fleas kind of get immune to it. Then they change the formulation of it. And then it's good for a while. But that happens all the time. And, yeah, this is a really bad season so far.
I didn't know that. So they get immune to it. Wow. And that's sort of like Ladybug, the studio stunt dog. At first, the radio show, the animal radio show, sort of just her ears would go down. She didn't like the sound of it. And now she sleeps through it. She's become immune to it. Are you ready for a tip of the day? It's Joey Villani, ladies and gentlemen. I guess it would be the tip of the week with Sir Joey Villani.
I like that. I like the sound of that, Sir Joey Villani. Okay. We're going to talk about anal glands today, and even though this isn't really a grooming tip, it's something that you really need to look out for and something you need to make sure that your groomers are checking or doing, or both, actually. And remember I told you before early in the show that, I get excited talking about anal glands. I'm going to tell you why, because before people think I'm a little bit strange and weird.
We already think that.
When we taught pet grooming in the school, and I do anal glands on all my dogs. I check them at least. But when you're showing someone how to do it, and we had, a strip of tubs that went along the wall in our bathing room. Mm-hmm. And when you get good enough, you can aim it. So if you really want to get the person in the next tub with someone next to you, you give it a good squeeze.
Are you telling me
there you go.
If I was a fly on the wall in your salon there that I would have seen that maybe you shooting anal gland juice at another fellow worker?
Absolutely, especially somebody new in their career, because they're so taken back that you have students that say, well, I'm not going to do it, and you just turn and say, yes, you are. And it's funny, because after a while, in a grooming salon, you know what, I'm not going to say that we're disgusting, but you get so used to things, you squeeze anal glands, then you go back and take a bite of your sandwich you're having for lunch, that's just how it is after a while.
It sounds like quite a place.
It's very attractive. Anyway, bottom line is this. Anal glands are scent glands, okay? And dogs use it to mark. And they said early before a dog was domesticated and we had wild dogs, it was actually, they believe that same properties even as a skunk, where they would be able to spray you as a defense mechanism. Coming now that the dog has been domesticated and the foods that we feed them and whatnot, a lot of dogs, and mainly small dogs, have a problem releasing their anal glands. Now, normally what would happen is when they go to the bathroom. So when they pass their stool, basically the anal gland juice is what I call it, would come out, and they'd be fine. But a lot of dogs have problems releasing it. Now, this is what happens. It's two glands. It fills up. After a while, it's like a balloon. It has to go somewhere. So what it's going to do, it's going to rupture. It could cause a lot of discomfort. It can cause leaking. It can cause an abscess, or it can even rip through the skin. And I've seen that before on dogs. Wow. Now, a lot of people don't know about it, and a lot of people don't want to nose around back there to find out, but it's important. So the first thing I would do is make sure your groomers are doing it. There's some signs that you will see. Did you ever see the dog that scoots along the rug?
Yes. Yep.
9 times out of 10, that's what they're doing. They're trying to relieve it themselves. It's a little uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. So what that does is, applies a little bit of pressure, and sometimes to release it, unfortunately, it's going to be on your carpet. Yeah. Oh. So if you want to check it yourself, 2 things. Make sure someone's holding the dog's head, because they don't like you messing around back there at all. Okay. Sometimes they'll get a little bit too excited to get back there and they'll release it. So stand clear. Stand on the sides. Lift up the tail 2 and 9, and what you're going to feel for, it's almost like you had like a sore throat and you get swollen glands, just, a much smaller scale. Mm-hmm. And if you feel something that feels a little bit swollen, make sure your groomer does it. If your groomer doesn't want to do it, shame on them, but go to the veterinarian. That has to come out. That has to be relieved. Most groomers, what they'll do is they'll release it from the outside. And basically what they'll do is that 3 and 9, they'll actually just almost like as if you're pinching it out and pulling forward. So you pinch, pull forward, that'll actually release the anal glands, and you can go about your way. Veterinarians go on the inside, and it's very quick, but it's actually a better process. But because it's internal, groomers really shouldn't mess around back there. It should be done. It's important, and you'll have a happy dog.
Now, does your groomer charge you for this stuff?
Some groomers do, but I got to be honest with you, that bothers me. I mean, you know what? If you're a pet lover, let's get the pet out of discomfort. They're paying for the grooming. It's really part of the grooming. We've taught it in our schools that this is part of the grooming. If you're uncomfortable doing it, at least check it for the people and say, listen, take your dog to the veterinarian. We don't do anal glands here, and because a lot of groomers just don't want to do it, just so they know. But people that don't know, all of a sudden the dog has an abscess and has a problem, and it gets infected, and could lead to a lot of things.
Okay.
Yeah, I work for a veterinarian, and I was working in the kennel, and I did all the grooming of the dogs that came in. I had to bathe them, and that was part of my service. Unfortunately, I had to do it, and we would do it internally. And
not a pleasant thing.
Not a pleasant thing, but something that we would do. It was no charge. It was part of the grooming with the dog.
And don't do it at home, because if you don't know how to do it, you can cause more problems than you could, helping.
Okay.
But just be able to recognize the problem. And again, I know it's not a grooming tip, but it's an important thing
it's
that
very,
you should
very
recognize
important.
when you bring it to your groomer.
Yeah, and dogs are easier than cats. Cats are tough to do.
Cats, you have to do their anal glands too?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Oh boy, I'm learning so much here today. Enjoy your lunch. 1-866-405-8405. That is Joey Villani's tip of the week about anal glands. Brought to you by SeniorPetProducts.com. You can get 25% off your entire purchase at SeniorPetProducts.com. Now's the time to help your older pet and get a huge discount at the same time. From beds to supplements, stairs, grooming aids, you'll find more than just great stuff for your furry friend. A lot of resources over there at the SeniorPetProducts.com website. Now, you want to get that 25% off your entire purchase? Just put in the promotion code RADIO-SPP. Radio SPP, as in Senior Pet Products, and you'll get your 25% off anything at SeniorPetProducts.com. Bringing you Joey Villani on Animal Radio. We got to get out of here. Remember, you can email us all week long at yourvoice@animalradio.com or call us. We have a voicemail attached to 1-866-405-8405.
This is Animal Radio Network.